Howdy, I'm Bubba the Show Enough. Now that there behind me is an original Hernandez, man. Not a lot of people have them. Well, I was asked to help out with Chapter 4 of Space Aliens Hide My Drugs. Now, this maybe hasn't been as rambling and babbling and discombobulated as it originally conceived, but I think I can fix that. I think I can channel Mac's head room, and that might be just a little more appropriate for, talking to a generation that lives their life in 30-second excrements. Because Mac's headroom, he kind of lived his life in 0.3 second excrements. So he was like the wave of the far future, and everybody else is headed there. They're headed straight for Max's home fucking town, I'll tell you that. And anyway, this is rambling and babbling and just fucking-bubulated. You gotta have a drink every time you say just combobulated. That's kind of like the rules, kind of like Pee Wee Herman. It's the word of the fucking day. Anyway, Chapter 4 of Space Aliens Hide My Drugs is kind of like Bubba the Show Enough writing If I Had Done It. Kind of like OJ writing If I Had Done It, but I mean, he didn't know all the details. He'd never really done it. Now, who done it? Well, you got your basic Mark Fuhrman, who wasn't working, ended up being the hero of the whole fucking case, and eventually wrote a $1 million book about it. They always say follow the fucking money. Who done it? Well, Mark's a pretty good goddamn fucking candidate. I mean, OJ's doing the time for it. Regardless, it's all them white boys. OJ was a white black man. He always thought those white people were his friends, but they eventually set him up in fucking Vegas and created a crime that only he went to fucking prison for. All them white boys took a walk. Hey, buy a fucking clue, OJ. I hope he's not hanging around with white people in prison. I'm hoping he found his roots, man. I feel sorry for that boy. Anyway, if I'd have done it, let me tell you how I'd have done it. Now, every time you see this, my reality anyway, has been discombobulated. Well, let me tell you something. Now, Toto had a lot of people who have done it too. I mean, you got your basic richest man in the fucking world, and his Blue Ops fucking tag team there that exists for the sole purpose of crashing people's lives in the interest of the richest man in the world. Now, see, it never fails to amaze me how people think that if I get together with the government and we commit these crimes together with the government, we're not really fucking criminals. Well, Bubba, if someone had popped a cap in the head of the first man who ever said, I'm from the government, I'm here to help you, we'd be living in a better world today. But no, it's like Microsoft, it's like that. All it takes, you got your bad Billy G, he's just poor little boy wants to hang out with the fucking people with real goddamn degrees, and people with authority, they're often mistaken for real people with real degrees. They make up a little badge to say, well, a bunch of us got together and decided, as long as we're wearing this little symbol, we're not bad guys, we're the good guys. So if you totally fuck someone, fuck them out of all their constitutional rights, all of their fucking civil rights, and give it to them up the ass, as long as you're through us. Hey, if you're with us, it's okay. We got this little goddamn badge says it's okay. We're still the fucking good guys. Hold on, I think we got to do a little more discombobulation. Here's the Pee Wee Herman. Discombobulation, the drink of the day, and Michael Priest, the father of the whole Show Enough family. The Bubba the Show Enough family is kind of an offset of one of the old armadillo families known as the Show Enoughs, who were sired by Michael Priest. who always used to introduce the bands down to world headquarters by reminding people, remember, the dance floor is wherever you happen to be. Well, right now the dance floor is here. And I'm telling you how I'd have done it. Now, Toto had a whole shitload of people. He had a right to do it too. Not just Bad Billy G and the blue fucking goddamn ops team, as they jokingly call themselves, ha ha ha. Not the prosecutor who committed legal and ethical violations and charged him with crimes of which he could never be convicted, just to get him to cop a fucking plea, and who never went to jail because all the evidence mysteriously disappeared, even though it was court documents. All it never really disappeared because when Toto got back all his legal shit, the evidence was right there, and he posted on the internet in John Young's little website there. Now, I think it's just confabulation time. I hate that. Well, wait, that was longer than 30 seconds. Excrement. Nobody's got a right to complain. I need another fucking drink. Now other people that totally had a right to do it too was like those people at SeaTac. Before he was even gone to trial, they put him in a goddamn cell wearing nothing but shorts. At the end of the fucking line, they turned up the AC and blocked all the vents in the other cell, so he got it all. Wearing a pair of shorts, he might as well have been back in Canada in the middle of fucking winter. Now, Toto had a right to do it to them too. And how about Social Security? He called them to ask for his goddamn rights. Okay, well, let's start off with his parole people, who told him, here's a man who looked after his own shit. Didn't go to the government, didn't fucking beg for nothing. And his parole officer, man, with a gun, who could put him back in a prison in a fucking heartbeat. What did he say to Toto? He said, we got the word coming down to get ready for the invasion of Iraq. And since it's our obligation to pay for your meds and your doctor shit, because it's on us if you go wacko and slaughter a whole bunch of people like MK Ultra has programmed you to do, then we're in shit. So, but we got to tighten up the fucking belt. So you're going to apply for Social Security. And that don't matter that Toto said, I don't think I'm eligible. They said, you're going to apply. Toto had this feeling he was going to be accepted. So, and now he told the fucking truth when he applied for Social Security. He said, you got any outstanding felony warrants? He says, well, I don't know. Now they say I do. But the Mounties, they say I have an outstanding warrant in Canada, which may be felony. I don't know, because the Mounties had never told me. They had all the money they needed to send these Mounties down to testify at my fucking trial and tell their little goddamn lies. But nobody ever said, we got a warrant out against you. Nobody ever said, hey, when your prison sentence is done, we're going to extradite you, and they never did. But I've heard rumors that I can't confirm that, yeah, I got a warrant out there somewhere in Canada, but nobody's ever told me. Well, Toto just fucking flew through that fucking Social Security shit, and all of a sudden he's accepted for Medicaid. He's put on fucking Medicaid. And he got this little ping saying, I'm going to get fucked. This is all nice and smooth, and they're saying you got to do this, and here you are, here's your medical, here's your money, but I'm going to get fucked. And sure enough, the minute he was off parole, Social Security says, oh, gee, golly gee, goddamn, well, we just found out you're not eligible. You got a felony fucking warrant. Give it up, Bubba. Fucking give it up. Give all that shit back. We want you personally. We're going to hold you personally responsible for paying for the invasion of Iraq. Not these SUV driving goddamn soccer moms, with their gas guzzling SUVs that went down to protest to come in an invasion of Iraq while Toto was being tortured at fucking SeaTac. No, you, Bubba. You're the guys got to pay for the invasion of Iraq. Now, Toto pop a cap ahead, pop a cap in the head of every one of them cocksuckers. And be fully justified in it, as well as that when he did his appeal to Social Security and complained and said, I want to be there for the appeal, they ignored that, did the appeal without him, and sent armed thugs from 3 or 4 different law enforcement organizations to terrorize his family in Berrytown. People with fucking guns to go and terrorize the women, the men, and the fucking children with guns. Well, Toto said, that's okay, you fucking me, and not, even though I requested to be there at the appeal, to fuck me, because I know the laws don't apply to me. I never did during my trial, never got a trial, never got to represent myself. The government had a trial. So the government's got goddamn rights. They're not mentioned in the Constitution. It doesn't say the government has a right to a trial. Public defender has a right to a trial. It says the defendant had a right to trial, but he never got that because the laws didn't apply to Toto. When it came to Social Security doing appeal, well, the law didn't apply to him there either. And he would have had a right to fuck those people up just over that, but he wouldn't have, because he's a very zen kind of guy. But when they fucked with his family, his friends sent thugs with fucking guns to terrorize him, he said, well, now I not only got a right, it's the right thing to do. But did he do it? Well, let me tell you what would have happened if I'd have done it. Discombobulation. Give me a second. A little hot off the bubba keg. Now let me tell you about. I got the dark glasses on because we're going to talk about some dark things. And it's kind of a pun since I'll be talking about Al Sharpton, who will go to the wall for some young girl who takes a magic marker and writes racist things all over her body just because she didn't want to get in trouble for coming home late. But what happens when the goddamn government burns alive men, women, and children in Waco, Texas? Burns them alive for the crime of being black and believing in a white Jesus. Well, Al Sharpton's got nothing to say about that because there's no money in that, is there? So who avenged him? Timothy fucking McVeigh. Timothy fucking McVeigh seems to be the only goddamn person in this whole goddamn nation says they murdered these people. This is wrong. They have to pay. Now, the reason Timothy McVeigh gets a lot of fucking respect from people who won't admit it because it ain't politically correct. Timothy McVeigh targeted the people responsible at the Murrah fucking Federal Building. Now, I ended up in the Oklahoma City Federal Transfer Center for fucking prisoners. I ended up in the hole in a cell that was facing the cell where the members of the BOP murdered. Federal government workers and guards murdered Kenneth Trinidad. And there's crime scene tape all over the door. Well, I ended up in a cell where I could see that plain as fucking day. I was right across the hall. And ended up, when they did the linen exchange, I got this thing which had these strings on it and shit, and wasn't really a shit. It turned out to be a fucking body bag. All because I called them all Murrah Federal Building leftovers. They don't like being called Murrah Federal Building leftovers in Oklahoma City because they know it's true. See, none of the shit I did, which was totally horse shit and bore no relation to reality, you can babble all the way. It don't bother these people. You call them Murrah Federal Building leftovers, And they hang their fucking head in shame, and they try and do you, just like Kenneth tried to do. Well, goddamn, just thinking about that fucking body bag showing up instead of a bed sheet. I'm sorry, folks, but it's time for another little fucking drink. So let me tell you. Now, this being discombobulated, thanks to Pee Wee Herman and the word of the day and the drink of the day, I feel forward to crawl through a fucking wormhole and jump ahead or behind. It depends. I mean, time is fucking relative. And tell you that, you know, for all the things were done to Toto at Three Rivers, Texas, being four-pointed and known, I mean, he was four-pointed on the fucking rack. And when he almost fucking died, you know, a shoe lieutenant named Mad Wilson, whatever the fuck, when he has to be turned over so he could stay alive, Mad Wilson just, fuck you, we don't care. We don't care if you fucking die. Now, after almost killing him, among a variety of other fucking crimes committed against the man, the Three Rivers, Texas, or B Caves, not B Caves, B Texas, where a lot of these people live, do they have anything to fucking fear from Toto? No. You know why? Because of a guard named, I think he was Corporal Waters. At a point when Toto was four-pointed, had handcuffs to the fucking top of the bunk, handcuffs on his legs to the bottom of the bunk, no fucking mattress, on a cold steel fucking prison cot, where nothing but a pair of shorts, lay in his own shit and piss for days at a time, and with the air conditioning turned up, sent directly to his cell. Only Corporal Waters. He put a pair of socks on, like the Good Samaritan. Corporal Waters put a pair of socks on Toto. Just do what he could to make things a little better. Keep him just a little bit warmer. But you know what he did before he did that? This basic act of humanity, you know what he did? He checked. He checked to make sure none of the other guards were watching. He was afraid to be caught performing a basic act of humanity for a man being tortured. Corporal Waters saved Three Rivers and B Texas from a lot of fucking grief. My hat's off. Corporal Waters. And this is why Toto never even considered going back and just laying waste to all these fucking people. And you know, and I'll tell you something, the reason he never laid waste to Rob London and Gene Grantham and Judge Brian Moore and all these people is because they're not the worst of the fucking bunch. He could have gone back there and whacked them fucking out. But they tried to give him a kinder, gentler New World Order version of we're fucking you in the ass. They tried to get him to plead out time served by pleading to crimes he never committed. And if Toto gone back there and whacked all them fuckers out, there are people 10 times as worse waiting to take their fucking place. I mean, Rob London, a prosecutor who meets with the defendant, with his public defender, and tells the public defender to take a little walk. I want to talk to this man personally. No, that's not identical. But you know something? Rob London ain't the worst of the fucking bunch. And Bad Billy G ain't the worst of the bunch. You know, they tell these guys, well, this man, we know he's good for a couple of murders. Biggest goddamn big-time drug distributor and smuggler in the history of Western Canada. Although C.J. Parker must have been the most genius fucking criminal mastermind in the history of the world, because they never popped him, even though make him sit for hours waiting at the border while they sent down for the drug dogs from Virginia to come down to the North Portal, and never ever found a goddamn thing. Here's a guy who got popped for one joint of marijuana in 1969 in Yorkton, Saskatchewan. All of a sudden, he's the biggest drug dealer in the history of the world in Western fucking Canada. And then know he's good for a couple of murders, which he wasn't until he pissed them off. I've read all the RCMP shit. I fired the Interpol shit. I helped one of the customs guy hook into the customs fucking computers in Estevan, Saskatchewan. And I got to read everybody's shit. Now, ask Rocky. Ask Rocky. Now, this is discombobulated, man. Who paid? Who paid? Who got the little fucking doses from those diabetic UV 100, I think it was, needles? You get 6 of them from the fucking crack heroin fucking addict, for a dime rock, cocaine. Who paid? Well, if the end of space aliens hide my drugs, you're going to find out who. And you know something? It might include all those people that suck Bill Gates' ass. I mean, here's Bill Gates. He's going wild. Now, I got married. I mean, that Melissa, she's a wonderful woman. She cut Bad Billy G's hair. He was a fucking pirate. She cut his hair and said, now we have to be good people, kind of like that Nobel Prize guy. Isn't he the guy who invented TNT? So I'm gonna give out the Nobel Peace Prize. You know, make up for all these people whose deaths I am responsible for by inventing TNT and making a shitload of money. I'm gonna give that some money to ease my little conscience by doing the Nobel Peace Prize. We'll eventually give it to a president who hasn't done nothing. But so Bad Billy G, he got to be in the board of directors of all these charities and good people. They're connected like to the UN, who has this new thing of stewardship. Now stewardship is this word. Now the UN's not comfortable with using the word plantation or company town. They have stewardship where we're going to take care of these poor fucking people. We're going to make them part of the family, and we take care of them just like Henry Ford took care of his employees, although he spied on them and fucked up their lives if they drank a little too much. Did some things that didn't quite coincide with the bylaw. So Bad Billy G, he takes on the UN. He gets to hang out with all these fucking rich people with degrees. Yeah, I'm just as good as these people with degrees. Poor little Bad Billy G didn't have what it took to get a goddamn degree. But here's all these people with degrees. I get to hang out with them, be the man, because I give them some fucking money. Their friends and their family paid the price for sucking his dick. Now here's the thing. Who got the little needle full of fucking blood? Was the people who were sucking the dicks of all the federal authorities and the prosecutors? Fuck toe. The people who drank that goddamn coffee and put that little blood-laced shit in it? Was it all the people who sucked Bad Billy G's dick for the money, saying, if you give us a bunch of money, you can hang out with us, all those people who had the balls to stick with it and get a degree and pretend that you're just like us? Was it their family and their fucking friends paid for it? Was it all those people at Microsoft who sucked his dick and called him fucking God? Was there anything in the food at their little Microsoft picnics? Did Bad Billy G ever give a $10,000 fucking tip to a bunch of waiters and waitresses who had, shall we say, put a little something extra in the food of all the people he was hosting? And more importantly, can any of this be proved, or was it done in a way where it was spread out? It's spread out, and can you say we have a spike in the chart? We can check out who got what. We got a little spike in the chart here. Analysis. Was this done so that analysis to come up with nothing? Where somebody could say, hey, I did this, I did that, I did it across this fucking range. You analyze it, see if it's true. Could have been done in a way where nobody'd ever know. See, it's discombobulation, child. I'm gonna have a little drink. I'm gonna tell you something. Hi, I'm C.J. Parker. I'm sorry about Bubba DeShonoff. Bubba DeShonoff's started kind of losing it, kind of like Bubba Ram Dass. So I think we're going to close out the chapter 4 of Space Healing Inside My Truck. Give Bubba a chance to get his shit back together. And I don't know, I guess I'll play you a little song. Now you're probably saying, old Toto and Bubba and Joe Strange, all these, they're just little goddamn fuckers trying to run with the big dogs. And whining, because they didn't come out on top. Well, I got a little song about that. Maybe we do like a chapter 5 and I'll get to tell you all about that, all about the trying to run with the big dogs.